This is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Sense Nation. Where we make sense of life and reality. I believe everybody's just a universe of just different things, different experiences, and people just do amazing stuff out here. Yeah. So, those lines. Who's Mr. Mutai?
I'm Doug Mutai, man. I'm an artist, I guess. I'm a performer. I'm a creative. I'm a creative professional. That's how I prefer to be known. I have side hustles or main hustles, or they used to be main hustles, but I prefer to be known as a creative professional. So I write scripts, I perform stand up, I act, I do visual art, stuff like this.
Nice.
Those are most of the things that I do really. Started doing stand up when I was in Canada.
Yeah.
I started visual art when I was a kid in high school here. Yeah, I think I sold my first piece when I was 18 or something, 19.
Nice.
Yeah, when I was in Kenya. And then I took a break from that for a while, and then I went into the acting, the writing. I did write for a bit, and then I, went abroad, lived there, went to school, I lived there for a bit. Then I started doing stand-up while I was in college. And then, through when I'm almost done with campus, I started doing it intensively, and I moved on to it, and I would juggle it between my day job then and then eventually I just did it full time. Moved back to Kenya, done a few businesses here and there, small business again. I prefer to be known as a creative professional in that sense. So, and then I do stand up. I started Stand Up Collective. We founded that outfit in Nairobi. We were incubating talent and whatnot and training comedians, you being one of them. Then we have shows that we do weekly and monthly shows, and then I also write for people. I act in small things here and there. I haven't done a lot of acting actually, but I dabble. I sell these pieces when I get people who buy them. So yeah, I do art pieces, a lot of them. So people are welcome to buy them if they want.
Creative professional.
Yeah.
You try to sum up, because sometimes I'm thinking of the same. You want to make a main thing in life, and then you make things look like a side hustle. I'm like, yo, this is one person who's just your universe already. You have very different things that you feel you can do. You can express. You can do with this life that you have.
Yeah.
I've seen a friend of mine in the coffin, and just tripped me that he's there but he's not there, and I was just like, do you know at the end of this of all this, you still leave the body here, but you're not here. And by the time you're doing that, I usually like you get to do everything. From an accident, one of the things was dead live as I wanted to, as in not live the other life I thought I'd want to live. Nah, just with what I live. Just being
not the external pressure type of life.
Not all that. Just with
the real life that you want.
What I've already done. As in like, am I comfortable? I felt I would have done, written something, or have done this other thing, So I like when you put it as creative professional, you do these things. You're creative.
I create.
Different way of doing stuff. I create at the end of it all.
Yeah. I've used my creative solutions in the corporate sector in the past? Yes, I have. I've done a few of those.
Nice.
But generally, I actually do creative for the end user. That's my approach, and I like it, and it's who I am. I've been doing this for so long. I can't run away from it. Like I've tried everything that everybody does. Where you try and doing like now you need to get a real job and grow up, and it didn't. I've had more success with my art than anything else I've ever done. It's the only thing that I've done consistently since I was 14 years old, or even 11, I don't know. But I've been
nice.
Yeah, I've just found a way with it. I've tried everything else and it doesn't work for me. The paper pushing around, the working on a bigger vision in behalf of somebody, and there's a lot of nobility to it that I don't have. Like being able to work at a job, the discipline that it requires, I don't possess. I have a different type of discipline that, yeah. So
Nice.
yeah.
I like when you put like that. You have a different kind of discipline.
Yeah.
Not I have my own kind of discipline, but
Yeah,
still discipline.
yeah, because I still work hard. I put in work a lot. I'm very
work
disciplined with it, but I've not been able to do 9 to 5 successfully. I've done it. I've gotten very good opportunities that I've had, done a good job that I thought, yeah, this is a job that you should stick with for the rest of your life, ideally in the grand scheme of things. But my insides were in conflict, in turmoil. So.
Whoa, but I really do hope right now, as a creative professional, you be like, I'm down to write this whole ride like this.
I am. I decided that a long time ago. In fact, by the time I was moving home to Kenya, at home, I didn't move to my parents. I didn't.
Oh, Kenya.
Home Kenya.
Home country.
Yeah. By the time I was doing that, I decided that was it. I got sidetracked kidogo trying to establish myself here. I tried doing that. I had a small business doing some things. I don't want to go back into it. And I did that. Sometimes I still consult with my colleagues when I need extra money. but generally, I did it, and I was like, yeah, no, I should probably do what I do best. That is, I can't go wrong with it because it's never let me down. Like I've gone there, but it's never let me down. Yeah, I've never been. It's never let me down. I'm not saying I've been rich or famous, but I've never suffered as a result of it. I've only gone up, not down. I've only grown. I feel it fills me up. Like sometimes, for a good example is sometimes I'm doing something and it's become a routine and I'm getting tired, and then I get an opportunity to do something else. Like I go on set and I'm acting in a thing, and I come home feeling like I just got re-energized, like I got charged. It's weird. It's not weird. It's good. It makes sense. It's not like when you come out of work at the end of the day, you're tired. For me, that day is when I'm energized because I just did something new and creative.
It's like creative.
Yeah.
The fire of creative is crazy.
Yeah.
But again, I usually feel that creatives will also go through a lot of turmoil because, like when you go down, you see how you give your all. You see, a 9 to 5 is usually set as much as you have a deadline for the day and months and the likes. It's still a set, then you get to 5 o'clock, you're like, 5 o'clock, time to go.
Yeah.
And like for creative, you get to a point where it's zone time, as much as there's the pressures of timelines and the like.
Yeah.
But again, you really have to take for your show, for whatever work you need to do to be in.
Yeah, you have to be disciplined, right? It's just like every job. And it's like I tell people, even creatives, when they're doing, my colleagues and when I'm doing anything, because I noticed this with even say 9 to 5, like what you're saying is that people, maybe it won't mean anything if they work extra hard, so they just do the bare minimum to get through to the day. And I'm always like, the energy that you saved, where do you bank it? Do you bank it and then you can come back and use it later? Because the time is gone. You have lost the time. So if you're not exerting yourself 100%, did you benefit from that time frame that you had, that time slot, that, from 9 to that 5? Did you do the best of what you could do from that 9 to 5? And I look at it. So for the creative, the thing is, we are usually with the misfortune of not having a big system, first of all, locally, stable systems. So that means you have to do a lot of work for it to just show slightly, your mechanic but that's a calling, because also, the benefits are immeasurable, because it's like when we got COVID, it's one of those things where it's like say comedy or art is more than a paycheck for us. It's also who you are. So you need an opportunity to be who you are, and so that's what we deal with all the time. So again, you're saying you have to put in a lot of work, yes. But do you complain? No, because you love it. That work actually fills you up, it energizes you, right? Because you work insanely hard, you try and figure out your lines, you try and tweak your jokes, let's say for your jokes, or you're working on a script, you jenga, you go back, you jenga.
Thank you for that. I caught it, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
And then you catch it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how does that even work sometimes?
That's the thing.
That trips me with lie.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like you're trying to build and it it's like in a way inakukula kichwa, but the moment it clicks, it pays you back for all the kula kichwa it did, plus more, and it gives you more. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you work on a joke, you've worked out and you've tweaked it, you've tried it this way, it didn't work, and then finally imakukula kichwa, but one day it works and it kills on stage. That laughter just sweeps over you. It's like I don't know what drug is the most, maybe heroin. It's an heroin. It's one of the most addictive things without being a vice. It gives you a high that you don't get anywhere else. Right? It fixes you. Yeah.
Whoa, what's most interesting? So that is the most interesting about being a comedian and hitting that and getting all that energy back. But hey, what can you tell us about being a comedian and why? You know, there'll be a comedian who'll be listening there and be like, hey, I know one thing that really amazes me about technology and YouTube and the likes is me saying I want to be a comedian, and then you go and see what a comedian does, and then you're like, wow, that is really funny. Watching the front side of it, and then you see what goes behind it, and then you're like, wow, you appreciate the work and the effort that goes in, and also the teamwork of like stand-up collective. Really being having experienced that and how you even consult each other and do this whole thing, and somebody goes up there and does their thing, and the energy the person gets, the energy you get as even the audience, and that just treats me so much. So just for a comedian out there is really wanting to do this thing, what would you say to them in Kenya? Just out there,
do it. Yeah, if you're feeling it, do it. Like what are you waiting for? What ideally would you be waiting for? Just do your thing, man. Like you don't need permission to live. So live, do your thing. If it's a thing that you'll fail at, do it. Go fail at it. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like nobody actually is paying attention to anything.
I hope. Man, I listen to this. I will listen to this later on as I'm thinking about my plans, but please listen to this. You don't need permission to live.
You don't
live it.
From who? You're born free. That's but that's why I say just go for it. There's no. Sometimes you get caught up in all this. I gotta do this first before I do this. Needing permission is one of the toughest things, because what if the permission doesn't come? You know, waiting for some opportunities from who? What if they don't come? We created them. That's what we did when we started Stand-Up Collective. There was no stand-up comedy scene in Nairobi, in Kenya, that we could bank on. And I'm like, so what am I doing? Like, am I waiting? Am I going? There was the TV show that was happening in Kani. You're familiar with it, Churchill.
Yeah.
Everybody's familiar with it.
I've gone for
but I'm just saying, people used to go there, and you go there and you're fighting for stage time with so many other people, and it doesn't make sense why you don't get on stage for 6 months despite saying you're a comedian. You should be entertaining already. Why do you need to entertain millions like Churchill? The guy worked for his crowd for 10 years and then he got them finally, and he's entertaining millions every week. Why do you need the millions yourself? You could use them, but why do you need them? You need to get started. Go entertain the 5 people you know you can entertain. Who would rather? Do you think you're good at it? Go do it. And I feel like it's redundant, because lots of those people, I don't know if it's the same colonial design that we have, where people are waiting for the opportunity. From who? Nani akona opportunity amekuwekea na kungojea kupatia? You go and build it. You gender it yourself. You make it yourself. It might take you for a long time, but that's the name of the game. That's the process. You can't fuck with time. You can't mess with time. Time is time. Those are the rules of time. Is that there has to be time. There has to be waiting. You need patience. The virtue you need, the quality you need is patience and that tenacity. You have to be tenacious. You have to keep doing it, and you build something out of scratch like that. I swear nothing scares me ever again. Like there was a point in my life where it snapped and I was like, nothing scares me or nothing stops me from anything. Like nothing. I have no rules.
Have you heard the quote of "you have 2 lives"? the second one starts when you realize you have one.
Yes, I've heard of that one. Yeah, exactly. What would happen if everybody could do what they do best at their optimum? Everybody operated instead of you grogging and typing away numbers every morning. That's what you hate, or maybe you're really good with numbers and that's what you should be doing. But maybe you're there unadunga masindano watu huko when he's one of those horrible doctors, or and vice versa. What if everybody could just do that? Because again, not everybody can be an entrepreneur, not everybody can be an employee, not everybody can be whatever it is that are there. It's people were just given opportunity, but because of kutafuta ya kukula sahi, people we don't have the luxury of self-discovery. That luxury we don't. You have to figure it out now. Okay, graduate lazima upate job, uanze kufanya nini? Uambiwe kwanza pressure unaambiwa uzaa upate uzae. All of a sudden you are stuck in that loop. You don't have time for that self-discovery, right? So you don't get to build what you actually should be doing, what you should be good at. Yeah.
What? That is heavy words. This is giving me heaviness on my head. That's so amazing because this needs to be said. This has to be brought more and more times. This has to be made away in this system, in this ecosystem that you get to. I'm trying to be aware of the good energy we need to undo the things that we need to undo, to heal the things that we need to heal.
Yeah.
So you get to move forward to whatever you need to. We need to be doing, because even like that, I feel it's the fear. We have so much fears that we never get to do what we can do best.
Yes. Yeah.
We really need to survive.
Yeah, we're trying to survive.
We're really trying to survive.
And your fear is usually not even about. By the way, you're right. You've pointed out something very important. We have so much fear, and your fear is not even about failing. It's about looking like you failed or spoiling your bag. Because again, tumbo for today. So you don't wanna. So those are some of the biggest fears. Because I'm sure there is people with a high tolerance for failure. They can deal with. If I try this and I fail, so be it. I don't care. So it's not really a thing. But what if I try this and I'm screwed for life? I won't be able to pay my bills anymore. I become poor. I don't. Those things. It's because we don't have a stable system that can enable you to explore that element of yourself. Yeah, man. I don't know.
How do you see life being a comedian? From being a creative, I like how you've connected in the terms of in a way of we need to create solutions to all these things. Sometimes they're never done before, but again, you have a problem, you don't have something, you creatively go around this thing.
Yeah.
And one or another is how you have also connected to your comedy. You look at something and then you move, you add, you change, you flip, and then you're like, whoa,
yeah.
Now this is coming in. Maybe it's not the best, but again, after some time, just switch up something and you're like golden thing, like this.
Eventually it comes out.
And usually like even like the open mic and big up with the I think I forgot that part. I needed to big up like the open mic and how often it's a process and how I've seen somebody do one joke this week, do the next joke, the same joke next week, differently, do it again, and then on my Instagram as I'm looking through pages, they just like, whoa,
it's finally connected.
Exactly, and then just like there's so much because it's about the joke.
Yes.
It's about how you deliver it. It's about how you put the pose and where just there's so much that goes into that. You're like, I appreciate the process and I appreciate the team and the energy around, and you're just like, it's really hard to push something as a solo person, so you really have to connect to the people that you need to connect to. But again, if you get the people who are around you are doing the best of whatever they're doing, you think you'll be pushed to do the best.
Yeah, you have to step up or you'll be left behind, right?
So it actually even pushes you.
Yeah.
Even if it passes you, it will be the one to pull you.
Yeah.
As it happens. So even with that kind of mentality, I'm like, can you imagine the leaders like those leaders are like, make the best, and then at the end of it all, you're like, all this best is pushing their own best even.
Yeah.
Because sometimes this whole they should put another thing of fear and insecurity to them also, because at the end
Yeah,
of the
because
day, you're like, oh my gosh,
'cause now-
you yourself can actually benefit from this
Yes.
good policy. If you push for good policy,
Yeah.
legit.
And to be fair to them, they are also being in leadership means you are also surrounded by sharks who are waiting for you to fuck up. So the stakes are even higher than regular people, right?
For sure.
The stakes are even higher than you worrying about losing your job. You might still try and get another job, or you might still be able to pay your bills some other way. And them as well, they'll pay their bills personally, but sometimes they'll mess up in another way. That's why also, yeah, being in leadership, being in total control, being in totally aware of what's going on is very important, because so that you can control all those elements, the uncontrollables, right? You can control as much as possible if you want to make things happen. But if everything is disjointed, it's hard. It's gonna be tough, and it's usually disjointed when we are not on the same mindset.
Yeah.
If people cannot get on board with what you're saying, it will not work, regardless of how noble it was. That's why these problems, they are having these rating problems right now. It's because it's not properly communicated to us, and it's not properly sold to us. It was enforcement. Litumia iron fist kuweka on point. Just because we say you need to be in control of everything doesn't mean it has to be with an iron fist. Force is not the strongest. Sometimes you have to win hearts and minds.
And you can use comedy.
Yeah. Arts and culture. Oh, and that's not, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, true.
Arts and culture, comedy, movies, TV, nini. It's a bit to messaging, creative messaging. It's called
Mr. Mutai, where do we find you? On these online platforms.
Online platforms. So hey, personal. Vitu nimesema hapa. And I didn't know we were recording initially.
Alafu ambiane penye unapatikana. Sorry.
Yeah, you can come take me to Karura through my house. No, I'm Doug Mutai on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. What's the other one? The one that has
LinkedIn.
Pornhub.
Comedian in this
Twitter, yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and website dougmutai.com. Oh, I should pay for it. All right, yeah, but yeah, that's where I'm found. It's just consistently across the board. Doug Mutai. People find me.
Shout out to Stand Up Collective. Give us the handle of Stand Up Collective.
Yeah, at Stand Up Collective. That is the name there on IG. On Facebook as well, it's Stand Up Collective. On Twitter, because of character limitations, it's Stand Up Collect TV. YouTube, it's coming. Just Stand Up Collective. Lots of good comedy, lots of good comedians, fun, introspective kind of stuff. It's not slapstick.
This is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Sense Nation. Where we make sense of life and reality.